All right, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Area 51 Racing League here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I say appreciate you joining me here with Green White Checkered TV. Say we've got, I believe, 75 laps here at Indianapolis with the Cup cars. I say they just started qualifying now, so we still got probably about another 4.5 minutes left till qualifying is over. So while they're making their laps, I'll say, well, you'll be able to kind of see where their lap times show up on the ticker to the top of the screen, and then once we get just about to completion, I'll say we'll go through, see where people are, and then of course once they start gridding, we'll go through the grid, and then also of course to see if we can pull up the driver who is able to get that Regal Pull Award for this week. All right, looks like qualifying has just completed here. And it looks like tonight's pole sitter is going to be the number 14 of Levi Cox. So let's go ahead and grab him real quick, get a quick word with him before they get going green here. There we go. Once I can drag my drivers down here. All right, Levi, say grab you here real quick. Gonna say before you get going. First off, congratulations on your qualifying run. That's gonna put you on pole here, able to get qualify ahead of Larry by just under a tenth of a second. So what's it gonna take to be the first one across the yard of bricks after 75 laps tonight?
Um, I think it's just gonna be keeping your car off the corner, off of every corner really. Keeping your car off the wall. Sorry, my bad. Gets a little tight after a few laps, and plus, if you lose track position, it's gonna be a long night because it is hard to pass here. So track position and just keeping your car clean.
All right, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you guys are gonna go start gridding here in just a moment. So congrats again on the pole, and say of course say that's gonna make you $10 richer here thanks to the Regal Cinemas. So I'll say I'm sure they'll get in touch with you here sometime after the race.
Yeah, thanks to Regal for doing that. Jack Walls, I think he's the one who's doing it. Appreciate that. That makes qualifying a little bit more fun. Makes everybody go out there and at least lay down a lap and see what they got.
All right, so good luck tonight. I say we'll definitely be keeping an eye on you here.
Thank you very much.
All right, so yeah, so like Jack Walls, like you mentioned, Jack Walls, let's say is able to get some sponsorship over here with Regal Cinemas. And so, just for those of you who aren't aware, Regal operates one of the largest and most geographically diverse theater circuits in the United States, consisting of 7,211 screens in 549 theaters in 42 states, along with America Samoa, the District of Columbia, Guam, and Saipan. Regal believes that the size, reach, and quality of the company's theater circuit provides its patrons with a convenient and enjoyable movie-going experience. Regal is committed to being the best place to watch a movie, bar none. So again, we want to really thank Regal for putting on this pole award here. So say as our drivers are going, let's go through the grid here real quick. As we mentioned, Levi Cox on the pole position, Larry Yingling starting in the second position. In third, we have the 003 of Aaron Davidson. Next to him is the 13 of Ryan Kelly. In fifth is the 17 of Chad Wilkes and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Chad's been on a roll here last few. I think he's won, at least with here on Green White Checker TV, he's won the last 3 races. So we're going to see if anybody's able to kind of knock him off the perch there. And then starting in the 7th position, you have the 85 of Brandon Clark. And in 8th is Jack Walls. And then rounding the top 10, you have Mike Iao Jr. and Jim Brooks starting in the 10th position. So we'll go through the remainder of the field to put down a qualifying lap here. Says, see the pace car here is coming through turns 3 and 4. And so it looks like about the top 19 put down a qualifying lap. And then the rest of those are going to kind of just start where the grid was. And so say, as the pace car is just right now coming off of turn number 4, it's going to put it into the hands of the 14 of Levi Cox and the 67 of Larry Yingling. Definitely 2 that we're going to for sure have to keep an eye on throughout this race because they've shown themselves to be extremely quick throughout the season so far. So good luck to the MSA. Pace car is off, so we're going to watch them as they come down the long front straightaway here at Indianapolis. Let's say, and then once the flagman throws the green flag, they're going to be underway here at Indianapolis for 75 laps. And the green flag is out. And right now, the 14 of Levi Cox gets a good start there. He's got the 003 of Aaron Davidson right to his back bumper. You're going to see if you can try to follow him through there. I was saying this is where we got to be real careful. You can see already they're stacking up a little bit. They have to try to make sure. Oh, as I say, the caution does come out here at lap 1, pretty much turn 1. It looks like. Looks like it also may have involved, yeah, the 39 here of Mitchell Wilkes. I think I saw the 45 involved as well. We got Paul Patterson, 66. Here's a 66 of Mike Morrison. I think I saw the 6 of Bud Steele in there as well. Oh, Bud Steele's got a ton of damage there. Let's go back and take a look and see what all happened. You can see it started off kind of towards the front, but then I don't know if it was an accordion or maybe just multiple issues there. So let's go and take a look here. So start here with Bud Steele. Oh, you can see right there the 88 comes across his nose. Just saying that from there, that just gets him on the grass. Oh, big shot for them there. So let's see if we can get a wider angle here so you can see some of those guys able to sneak through here. But then just bounces them back across the track, and that's what's going to start collecting a bunch more cars. and of course some of those are reacting to. I always see the 11 there. Ken Worley, see if he's just tags the wall there and exit. Say the 80 you can see as well in that one. This thing is the 84 as well. So yeah, there's going to be a fair number of fast repairs unfortunately having to be used right off the bat here. So definitely not what they were looking for. Um, so again, that was just right there, lap one there. Diego Vasquez is one, so you can see he's trying to coast into the pits. That way he can get that repair taken care of here. Let's say, so yeah, you see the 86 is in, the 88. Who else is in there? The 6 of Bud Steele we mentioned already. He's trying to get all the way through there as well. And then the 84 of Andrew Schroeder. Luckily this is a long pace lap here, so looks like these guys are gonna be able to get out and back on track without going a lap down. So there goes Bud Steele now, just waiting to see. It looks like Michael Spell may have had to take a tow or is just trying to get it fixed the old-fashioned way. So he's going to have to be careful here. So pace car is just coming around the start-finish line. So you're going to see it outside the shot here, waiting to see if he goes or not. No, it looks like so he's going to be put a lap down, unfortunately, for that. So let's say so while this is all going, it looks like we had a bunch of pit stops going on as well here. Maybe some pit strategy starting off early on here. Looks like about the top 12 to 13 stayed out. But then from the rest on back are here or entering the pits here. Maybe just tires or maybe just fuel. Maybe taking 2 tires, 4 tires. Just try to change the strategy up a little bit. So say with this being a long caution flags here at Indianapolis, so I'll step away for just a moment, and then we'll definitely get back once we get to the one to go here. All right, pace car is on the backstretch. We are on the one to go. I'll say Michael Spell is back on track. He is 1 lap down, unfortunately. However, he's the only car 1 lap down at the moment. So, if when another caution comes out, as long as he's not involved, he'll be able to get that free pass there and get back on track. And be back on the lead lap as well. And it looks like the top 11 there stayed out under that caution flag. And then from 12th on back, starting with Ken Worley, they all pitted there. Say some took 2, some took 4. And I think some of that just probably some strategy. Again, as long as this track is, sometimes every little bit of fuel can help. So we'll just kind of wait and see how that all pans out as we go through here. Let's say the pace car is coming around turn 4 right now. So you're going to see him duck onto pit road here, and then it's going to put it back into the hands of Levi Cox with Aaron Davidson on the outside, and then Larry Yingling here, sorry, in the third position, on the inside right behind the 14 car. So just waiting for the green. You can see them kind of get a little squirrely there. Say the green flag is back out though. And say right now those top two are side by side. So this is where again where you're gonna have to be real careful, just not to overdrive. Say these tires are still cold, not a lot of pressure in them yet. So they're not going to drive as well as you'd like them to kind of kick things off here. So coming through turn 2, looks like the 14 of Levi Cox is going to hang on to the lead here. So as we go through, so you can see they're kind of spreading out a little bit there. See a slight battle there with the 17 of Chad Wilkes. So trying to see if he could get around the 0-3 of Aaron Davidson. Wasn't quite able to do it there. So as they're coming around here. So completing here, they're going to be completing the 5th lap here. Going to be 70 laps to go. See one diving into the pits there. Might be serving a pit penalty there, unfortunately. But you can see right now these guys are all the same. Again, the way this draft works, you just need to make sure you can kind of, as long as you get a good exit, like Levi was talking about, just hitting the turns. It sounds like the setup does tighten up a little bit as the run goes on. So the key is going to be to really get that rotation down on the exit of the turns to get the power down, because that's going to be where you're going to gain or lose the most spots. If you're having to lift out of the throttle a little bit on exit, it's going to really hurt you. So that's going to be the key, is to get that solid exit that you're looking for. But say right now, they'll say, well, everybody's trying to chase the back of that 14 car of Levi Cox right now. I believe he's led all the laps so far. You can see already he's starting to try to move down a little bit, break that draft. Again, we talked about how big the draft is with these cars, with the lower horsepower, higher drag. So it's just kind of a strategy that you might have to do. As you can see, it looks like he may have missed that entry there into turn 1 just a little bit, so they didn't get it all the way down to the bottom like you'd like to. Although that may just be the camera angle on this car. I'm not 100% sure. But that being said, you'll be able to see now here on the backstretch, you're going to see that 14 is able to start closing the gap that little bit as they go through the straightaways here. And the other thing you can do if you're one of those guys following is you can kind of just maybe run it at maybe 3/4 or so of a throttle. See if you can maybe try to gain some track position, or gain some fuel, I should say, that way. So definitely you can see, as again you see, starts swerving around here through the front stretch, goes to the bottom. We're going to move back up top here to get the angle back into turn 1 here. Say again the 14 Levi Cox leading the way here. Say right now the top 10 or so are pretty single file here, nice and spread out. You see there's a little bit of a gap there after the 8 of Mike Ayo Jr. To Gabe Butler, so you can see a little gap there. So you got one car coming back on track right now from the pits. That was the 7 of Dale Willoughby. So he's going to come back on track. Looks like he's going to stay up top there, let the leaders go by. Really heads up driving by his part. Doesn't obviously want to play any role in anything early on in this race. So now these guys just have to make sure that they hit their exits right and not kind of wash up into him. So far they're doing a really good job there. And yeah, so right now though, all things are spread out up front. Looks like for the most part it is pretty single file here. So let's go through the field a little bit. Let's go through the top 10 to start off with. So again, you got the 14 of Levi Cox leading the way here. Has led all the laps so far. Not too far behind him is the 67 Larry Yingling. Started in the 2nd position, running 2nd. In 3rd is the 0-3. As you can see, they're starting to dice it up a little bit behind him. 0-3 of Aaron Davidson. Started in the 3rd spot, running 3rd. Right now you got a battle for 4th, which at the moment is Chad Wilkes trying to hold off there. The 85 of Brandon Clark. And saying so far has been able to do so, but you can see he's all over that back bumper of him. So right now Chad Wilkes in the 4th position, who had started in the 5th position. And then in 5th, as he's going to make a move here for that 4th spot, is Brandon Clark in the 85. So he started in the 7th position, so he's been able to gain a few spots. You can see he's got the entry here on 1. Just needs to see if he can try to complete. Looks like the 17 rolled out just enough to let him get that spot there. And then right behind him is the 83 of Jack Walls in that Regal Cinemas car. Started in the 8th position, currently running 6th, so he's made a couple spots here early on. And then right behind him in 7th is Jim Brooks in the 76. A little bit of a gap between them. Nothing too much right now. Say obviously you can definitely make up ground as things go, but he started 10th, is running 7th. In the 8th position is Mike Iao Jr., currently running 8th, started 9th. And then one of the big movers right now in the 9th position is the 11 of Ken Worley. He's the one that made that earlier contact. I believe he probably had to use a faster pair, unfortunately. So of those that pitted, he's the furthest up right now that had to make a pit stop under that first yellow. He's running in the 9th position, started 22nd. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Gabe Butler in the 1 car, started 12th. So he's made a couple spots as well. He did not pit, so those 3 right there, the 1, the 64, and the 3 did not pit under that yellow. So Ken Worley was able to kind of leapfrog those guys, but we're going to jump back up front because the top 2 right now, the 14 and 67, are definitely checked out from the field. Right now they're trying to kind of put it between the 2 of them. They're trying to kind of put the battle between the 2 right now. Say apologies if you hear some background noise. We got our little 4-legged ones woke up from their nap and are very talkative at the moment. Looks like I'll say, well, since it's been mentioned, I say we got to go and take a look. So I'll say the 66 of Mike Morrison is currently running in the 19th position, started 33rd, so that's actually a really good gain for him as well. Definitely for just being lap 12 of 75. That's a good charge. You see a little bit high there in turn 1. Say it's going to open the door there for the 071 of Eric Laurie to sneak on by. That's not for position. Eric is 1 lap down at the moment. But it just shows you, just if you kind of miss that groove a little bit, how much it kind of throws you off there. So for BJ Rogers Kraus, say right now Mike Morrison running in the 19th position. Again, started in the 33rd spot, so it's a really good start for the race for him. He's got the 7 car, I believe, behind him, but I think the 7 car... Oh, yeah, sorry, the 7 car is Dale Willoughby. As I say that, he's getting passed right now by, I think it's Mark Brown. You see a little bit of damage there, so we'll move back up front. So I believe there has been a lead change. Yep, I was saying there you see 67 of Larry Yingling. So apologies for missing that. Larry Yingling back up front here. I'll say so he's now in the lead here, started 2nd. So he's gained that 1 spike. But again, you can see that gap though that these guys are able to put on each other. You can see also right now the 14 car maybe just moving a little bit under the braking zone just to see if maybe he can try to throw Larry off a little bit, make him miss his marks here. So let's hop on board though with that 14 car. Let's see what Levi is able to do here. So you can see it gets a really good exit there off of 4. And this is where you can see that draft come into play here. As I say that, again, you see him starting to look low here. I don't know if he's going to have enough momentum yet. As I say that, he moves back up just to get right back into the draft of the 67 car. But you can see it's just, you have to be real careful not to let it wash up too much because it's just so easy to overdrive these turns and then start pushing on the exit. So we can see right there, started pushing a little bit, had to put a little extra wheel on it, and that's where you have to be careful. Is that you put too much extra wheel on these cars, especially on the exit, that really hurts that right front tire, and so that's just going to make it push worse and worse. As I say, that 14 is going to take the lead here again. So it's going to move the 67, Larry Yingling, back here into the 2nd position. I'm saying, so now it's going to be the same thing. Let's see if Larry's able to get that exit he needs to try to make a charge back on the 14, but they're pretty equal there on the exit. But again, this is where the draft comes in. You'll see them slowly but surely start creeping back in. That's just how big this draft is at this track. They start kind of just creeping back in on each other and just dragging them back to the front. So we'll watch one more time through here. 1, 2, gets a really good turn 1 here. Gonna see if he can get that entry for 2. He had to enter a little shallow just because of how quick he caught the 14 car there entering turn 1. I think that's gonna give the advantage here back to the 14 as he goes to protect the bottom, block that draft a little bit. Saying, of course, it's gonna go right back to the top here, get the exit you need here, or sorry, get the entry you need here, entering turn 3. And then, so again, looks like Larry's really getting through turns 1 and 3 really well, but Levi's able to kind of get that exit he needed off of 2 and 4. So we'll see if he's able to do the same this time. You can see Larry got a little wider there, but I think it's going to be, it's going to be enough. He's going to jump back to the inside here. I'm going to go for another lead change at the line. It's going to be 67 back up front. I think you saw right there the 14 rolled out of it just a little bit. That way they didn't go into the turn side by side here, which is some really smart driving there as well, because the more they fight, the more that's going to start bringing in that 85 of Brandon Clark, who's been on the charge. So he's now up into the third position in that 85 car, started in the 7th spot. So he's trying to chase these two down right now. So looking at the lap times, they're pretty equal. Say everybody's right now running around 51. The top 5, I should say, are running around 51 8s, 51 9s. And then further back as you go, they're starting to dip into the 52s. So right now it looks like it's kind of a 5-6 car race right now, just based on those lap times. So that last time by, the fastest car was actually the 83 of Jack Walls, who's running in the 5th position here. So that's going to be something that, again, we'll have to kind of keep an eye on how that goes. And it looks like the 11 of Ken Worley is in the pits. It's a little early, I believe, unless maybe he's going for that road course strategy of trying to pit once you're in the window here. So we'll see if he's trying to maybe work things backwards, possibly, or so actually, Jake, take a jump, look real quick, see if he had any damage or anything along those lines. Car looks clean. Thinking this is just a pit strategy here. So I always like when people try going off sequence. It's always worth a try. So I think he should be able to hold on to the lead lap here as well. So he's going to cross start finish line there, and then he's not too far from the pit exit. So the leaders right now are just entering the front stretch here. So I think he should get out just around the leaders. He's going to definitely have to try to hustle it out of the pits here. So we'll jump back over to him. So you can see right now he's coming into turn 1. You're going to see right behind him, there come the leader. So actually he's not going to hang on to the lead lap there. So that's probably not going to go the way he was hoping to for his pit strategy. But we'll see how those fresh tires do. He might be able to start just kind of fighting his way through, back up through there. It looks like he's going to kind of come in right around that 5th or 6th position on track with the leaders here. Again, you can see they're all kind of strung out right now. So let's jump over to him. Actually, I don't know. I think something may have happened. So say he's taking it really easy here. I'm not sure if something happened or not, or if he just tried to make sure he didn't get in the way of the leaders there with everything. But say back up front though, still you got the 67 and the 14 leading the way. Say lap time wise, looks like everybody's in the 52s now, so lap times have definitely slowed down. Their fastest laps were in the high 49s, and everybody's in the 52s now. So I mean, it just shows you how quick the pace is dropping with the way this car is driving. And that's where strategy could actually come into play, because I mean, if you pit, let's say you pit 1 lap earlier than somebody, and get a good lap there, you're going to be about 2 seconds faster. So again, on the long run, they probably should be able to chase you back down. However, if you're in the middle of a big pack or something like that, that's definitely a strategy you could try. And right now it looks like Levi was the fastest car that last time by with a 52.0 compared to like 52.2s, 52.1s of those around him. And again, it's about the top 5 that are in that 52.1, 52.2 window. So these guys are doing a really good job here. I'm trying to set that pace. I'm trying to see if there's anybody a little further back that's got some fast lap times. I'm waiting for it to cycle through. Yeah, there's still some 52.1s back there as well as say David Adamson in 007. He's definitely running some good lap times still. So he probably just needs the track position back. So he started in 24th and is up to 18th. And so while we do that, say there's been a few position changes. Let's go and see a few that have made their way towards the top 10. So I don't think we've mentioned the 64 of John Mullins. Say he's now up into the 9th position. Started 15th. So he's made a pretty good charge here. Maxwell Caldwell started in the 6th position actually, and so he must have fallen back. So he's showing 11th right now in the 94, right behind the one of Gabe Butler. Ryan Kelly, definitely expect to see him towards the front. Right now, I don't think he's where he's looking to be at this point, but again, you can see right there, he's ahead of that really big pack right behind him. So let's jump over to there. Say he's running 12th right now. But if you look at this 13th spot with Robert Richards, say you got a little bit of a gaggle here with some cars with that are lapped down, new tires, older tires. So it's definitely a little bit of a gaggle of cars there. Say 62 of Les Levy just entered the pits here. I believe that's going to be a scheduled stop. It's a little earlier than some of those. He could have gone a few more laps on fuel. But again, this might be a tire strategy here. So Say back up front though, I think the 85 and the 17 are starting to run pretty close together. As I said, I'm going to wait for the 68 and 12 battle. Say they're fighting right now for the 13th position. That's Mark Brown and Robert Richards here. So just you can see right now as they advantage is going to be Robert Richards because he's oh nope. As I say that, I say Mark Brown's able to get around him there, so that's going to put Mark up into the 13th spot here. Right behind him is Brandon Thomas. Going to take a look there, entering turn one. Looks like he's going to not quite have it, but I think if he can hit his marks here on entry of 2, he should be able to get that exit he needs. And yeah, sure enough, you can see the 12 got a little bit high there. That's going to let him slide up there and then get that lead, or get the lead. Get that 14th position now from Robert Richards, who's kind of just got pinned on the top side here. Now you can see the 007, David Adamson, trying to take advantage as well here. Got a few more takers in the pits. I say Andrew Schroeder is in. So I'm thinking the window might be starting to open here. So we're going to move back up front because we've got the 14 back up front, getting around the 67 Larry Yingling. And then in the third and fourth spot, you can see right there the 85 and the 17. They're kind of in that same boat. They're pretty close to each other at the moment. Right now, it looks like he's got a bit more of a gap than the leaders do. He's right now showing just over, like just under a second and a half, about 1.25 seconds or so off the lead. As they run right now, we're on lap 23 of 75, so there's still 53 to go. But yeah, definitely seeing more drivers hitting the pits here. So this might be maybe they're just starting to push a little bit more than they'd like to. So they decided this is time to take the tires, not risk hitting that outside wall. Damaging the right from front again. You got Levi Cox all the way up against the inside wall, and then it brings it all the way back up to the top here to enter turn one. Again, mirrors full of that 67 Larry Yingling here as they go through turn one. Again, 14 got really close to the wall and exit there off of turn one. Looks like he's able to get away with it, but it's definitely going to be something that catches attention, though, for future in the race here, just to be a little extra careful. As I say that, I got a cat hopping on my lap. Hi, kitty cat. No, you gotta stay down. Say we're on lap 24 right now, but again, these top two are just kind of sneaking away here. Just a little bit. Actually, that last time by, they were almost 2-3 tenths quicker than Brandon Clark. That's actually dropped now to about 1 and 6 tenths of a second off the lead. So these two are definitely kind of showing the way right now, doing a really good job here. Saying everybody else is in a little bit more of a spread out between each other. Looks like there's a little bit of a good fight here with that 94, or just in front of the 94. It looks like of Maxwell Caldwell. I'm trying to catch the number. So you got the 94, the 76, and the 67, I believe that was. So they actually still have a little bit of a gap there. So nothing too crazy at the moment here. Let's see, where do we leave off with? I think we talked about, let's jump over to Mark Brown. No, we did them. Okay, so I think it's Timothy Wright in the 00s where we left off. As I say that, he's looking for the 15th position on Brandon Wright, Brandon Thomas. So Timothy Wright right here trying to work on the 15th position. You see the 3 sent it pretty deep in there. It's going to hurt his exit. So far, they're able to stay off the wall, still running side by side. That's going to really help things out for those behind him. It looks like pit stops are starting to open. As you can see right there, the 74 is in, the 76 is in, the 1 is in. So they saw one more jumping in right there, as well as Charles Johnson. So it looks like the window has just opened for some of these guys. They're going to take advantage of pitting as soon as that window opened here. So while these two find still side by side with Timothy Wright and Brandon Thomas, I'm saying that's brought Kyle Hess right into the party here. So we'll jump back up front here again. So say you got the 14, 67. They're still running 1-2. See if they're gonna jump onto the pits here. No, leaders are all staying out still. No strategy change on their part. So they might be wanting to stretch it out a little bit further. They do have a pretty good lead over the rest of the guys around them. They're gonna put a few more lap down. You can see right there they got by the 76 there. They're coming up on the 74 car. Says he's going to head through turn 2 here. He's going to kind of come out just behind these leaders, I believe. Just isn't going to quite have the momentum he needs there. Mark Brown just went ahead and pitted. Robert Richards is in. So yeah, the pit stop cycles are definitely happening here. Now the trick for example of the 74 here of Mike Iao is to try to figure out where he needs to fall in line. So he's able to actually get a perfect spot there right between the two sets of leaders here. So now it's going to see, we'll see what those new tires versus old tires do. Should the leaders decide not to pit this time, and sure enough they do not. But you see that head of steam though that he gets, he's going to stay up top there. As I say that, the 14 is going to move back up front. That's going to move the 74. He'll jump to the bottom there. That's going to put him now right behind the leader of Larry Yingling. And so this is where he's going to want to make sure he gets around that 67 as quick as he can, just in case of the, oh, as you see, the 14 got really squirrely there. He's going to want to try to get around Larry as quick as he can here, just to make sure if a yellow does come out during this cycle, he doesn't get trapped a lap down. He right now he's in the lucky dog position. However, if you can, you always want to be on the tail end of the lead lap should that happen. Just that way, you can still pit with the leaders and not have to restart at the end of the longest line and things of that nature. So right now his goal is going to definitely be to try to get around that 67 as quick as he can. A lot more pit stops going on. You got Chad Wilkes is in, Aaron Davidson's in. Oh, as I say, that leader is in. Let's jump over to that 67. And the 14's in. And the, what number was that again? 85 is in. So you got pretty much all the leaders are in right now together. It's like 83 of Jack Walls following them through as well. Trying to see if anybody's stretching it a little bit further here. Looks like Maxwell Caldwell, he's staying on track, I believe, in the 94 car. So they'll kind of wait and see as everything cycles through here a little bit. So right now we're kind of in the middle of the green flag pit stop cycle. So you're trying to see where everybody is here. So right now, actually, I think the 007 of David Adamson might be showing as our leader at the moment, as it looks like. I'm trying to see if the 94 actually did pit or not, but he's still on track. Where is that 94? Let's find him there. There he is. So he's coming through 3 and 4 now. So right now the leader is showing as Maxwell Caldwell. Again, he has yet to pit. Looks like he's coming in now. As he comes around turn 4, looks like the 071 Eric Laurie is going to follow. Let's see, 007. I think 007 staying out, so that's going to put him now in the lead. So that's going to be David Adamson now leading this race as pit stop cycles continue. Behind him, I believe, is going to be the 86 of Kyle Hess, I think, is in second here. So again, waiting for everything to cycle through here. But I believe it's going to be Kyle Hess there. And I think the 00 of Timothy Wright, these three have not pitted yet. And I believe that's going to be pretty much it on, actually a 39 as well of Mitchell Wilkes. He is yet to pit as well here. They've all run about 27, 28 laps since their last pit stop. So right now this is kind of where they're maybe banking on a potential yellow here. That may maybe bring some of the other drivers back in. But yeah, just right now waiting for everything to kind of cycle through here. So, but we'll jump back up front to the leader here, the 007. As I say that, he is in the pits. You say right behind him, you see the 7 is in. I believe that's the 86 as well. It is. And the, I think that was the 00 that was following him in there. Yep, there he is. So let's see if that leaves anybody. I believe the 39 would be the last one, but he is in as well. So that's going to complete the cycle of pit stops here. So that's going to be a full green flag cycle. Got about a five or so lap window, it looks like, between when everybody decided to pit and not. So, but up front, that's going to move the 67 Larry Yingling back to the lead here. And you can see that top 4 are all right together right now. So you've got the 67 Larry Yingling, Chad Wilkes is in second, Levi Cox third, Brandon Clark is in fourth, and they are all right on top of each other, all within a second. However, there's going to be a big gap right now back to the 5th position of Mike Iao Jr. He's running in 5th, but he is 7 seconds out of the lead. So these top 4, though, were able to really hit their marks, get a good entry, good exit, which at this track is super critical, especially the exit, because you have to stay on the apron, or I should say on the pit exit before exiting on the backstretch. But as I say that, you see right now those 3 are stacking up a little bit behind the 17. Going to see if maybe they're trying to make a move. Right now they're going to stay together here. I think they're going to have to work together a little bit too if they want to try to get back up to the 67 Larry Yingling, because we know what Larry's able to do. He is a very fast driver and he can hit his marks and just kind of put his foot down on the race if he needs to. So They're definitely going to need to try to team up a little bit here and see what they can make happen. So say waiting for everything to cycle through. I believe after all is said and done, we're going to have 28 drivers still on the lead lap. Looks like unfortunately Michael Spell has retired from the race, but leaves 33 altogether still in the race, with the 29th through 33rd still being a lap down. So right now as they cycle through again, as I'm looking at the lap times once they cross a line here. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I'll say right now Larry's able to. Yeah, Larry's stretching the gap right now. He just ran a 49.8. Compared to those around him are running 50.0s, 50.2s. So Larry's starting to put the hammer down right now. So you can see right now he got the draft of that 39 car. I'm sure that helped his lap time there as well. Again, just the more draft you can get, the better here, especially when you're able to clear him like that and still hit your marks entering the turn there. So yeah, right now Larry's just trying to pick him up and put him down. Doing a really good job there. And his pit crew also really helped him out as well. As they had a 14.2 second pit stop compared to those. Chad Wilkes, Levi Cox had 14.7. So again, just gain a half a second there as well. And you add that if he had a good in lap, good out lap, that's going to really help him out as well. So right now, Larry Yingling in the lead. We'll see if there's anybody I've missed now in the. Let's say while things are cycled through here. I don't think we've mentioned Charles too much. Yes, Charles Johnson in the 28 car. He is showing currently in the 13th position, started at 18th. I know we mentioned Ken Worley right now, right behind him in 14th. Bud Steele had that early incident. He is recovered now up into the 16th position. Obviously, without damage, he restarted pretty far back in the pack there, so that's a good recovery so far for Bud Steele. One we have not mentioned is the 118 of Nathan Aldrich. He's showing in the 19th position right now, so you can see him right now. They're just getting around the 12 of Robert Richards. That's going to move him up, I believe, into 18th spot. Started 31st, so a really good job for him. Mentioned Kyle. Those three have been together for a good chunk of this race right here. These three, we mentioned already. Let's see, Les Levy, 62. I don't know if we mentioned Les Levy. I don't think we have. So you got Les Levy right there in the 62 car. Started 19th, currently running 23rd. Dwight Plush in the 44. Started 28th, running 25th. James Ledford right behind him started 20th, currently running 26th. Diego Vasquez was in that earlier incident. Had to use one of those faster pairs. Started 29th, currently running 27th. Obviously, had to start towards the back though due to that repair he had to have done. And the first car right now, a lap down, is that 39 of Mitchell Wilkes. I think he was also in that earlier incident at the beginning of the race, so he's done a good job of trying to minimize the damage. Right now his hope is to try to get a timely caution here because unfortunately Larry's not too far behind from catching some more of these lap cars. You got Paul Patterson in the 45, started 34th, currently 29th. And then you got Cody Cox in the 9 car, started 16th, currently running 30th. So you see it a little bit loose there on exit. 071 Eric Laurie, I believe he was also involved in that earlier incident at the beginning. So he's trying to recover as best he can. He's currently showing 31st. And then we have the 84 of Andrew Schroeder. Started 32nd, currently running 32nd. Right in front there, you saw that car hit the wall a little bit. I believe that was the 118 of Nathan Aldrich. It's going to give him a little bit of damage probably on that right side. It wasn't too hard of a hit. And then unfortunately, it looks like Dale Willoughby has retired from the race. So we'll jump back up front now to the 67 of Larry Yingling. So take a look here. And yeah, he's just starting to kind of set sail. He's just putting down some laps right now. He's running in the 50s still, 50.9, and those around him are running 50.0, 50.2. But he's got about a 2-second lead right now over the 14, the Levi Cox. So Larry did a really good job of just kind of nailing that, pretty much nailing that green flag stop, and then of course getting back underway, back on track, kind of running full tilts there. So right now he's holding off Levi Cox, Brandon Clark. They were able to get around the 17 of Chad Wilkes. You can see they've kind of been able to stretch it out away from him here. So I just saw the 84. Yes, the 84 of Andrew Schroeder is in the pits. I think I also saw. I saw one other in the pits, but I don't see him now on the list. I wonder if it's just a little glitch on the timing screen here. So right now I'm trying to see where some of our battles are looking on track. Let's see here. Actually, looks like we have a good right now with the 76 and the 64. Let's jump over to them. Yeah, you can see right there. So you see the 64 trying to get around 76. That's going to open the door as well for Ryan Kelly here. So you're going to be 76 is going to lose 2 spots there, and possibly the 9's going to try to get around him as well. He is running a lap down. However, again, with this being a momentum track, he's going to try to see if he can make it happen. Couldn't quite do it. 76 closes the door there. So that's going to move John Mullins now up into the 7th position. Ryan Kelly up into 8th. That'll drop the 76 of Jim Brooks now back down into the 9th position. And we just crossed halfway here, so we have, or I think last time I crossed the halfway, so we're on lap 39 of 75, so we got 37 to go. As I say, there goes the 9 car down the front stretch. 76 might be maybe just trying to save his stuff here for a little later on in the run. So trying to take a look here, see if there's any other close battles here. I think the 64 now is probably going to have his hands full with that 13 car soon once he starts getting that draft back as well. Looks like Ken Worling, the 11, is in the pits here. So he went about 22 laps, and so he's in. He was one we mentioned was maybe doing like an early pit cycle. So I'm not sure. Maybe again he might still be kind of doing that same approach here. So it looks like Charles Johnson might be in a little bit of battle yet. Say right behind him you see Mark Brown there. Just trying to see if he can grab onto him. As they still see a little bit of rear end damage on that 68 of Mark Brown. It looks like he got kind of hit in the back, kind of square in the back there. Actually, kind of looked like Charles had a little bit of nose damage as well in the front of that car. It may have been, yeah, you can see right there a little bit of nose damage here. So that's going to really hurt Charles on the top end. Maybe saving that fast repair for a little later in the run, but that's definitely going to be something that's going to be affecting that top end speed for him. So I think also looks like now we got this 003 of Aaron Davidson's now, yeah, working on the 76 of Jim Brooks. So say Aaron, he was running up front earlier on. Must have lost a little bit of track position. I'm not sure there. Say next up is going to be Maxwell Caldwell, going to try to find his way around the 76 car. So say that he's right on the back of him here, entering turn 4. Say the way to do it here is to, yeah, kind of get that later entry and try to see if you can arc it down under him without getting into him. It was really close there. But he's going to have nope, not quite able to actually get the exit he needed there. So that's going to keep him back behind him another couple turns at least. So we're going to have to try to regroup and go after it again. Again, just got to be careful not to get too, it's so easy to push here. As I say that he gets a good turn 1 here. It's going to give him the preferred line here through 2. So you see the 76 just wash up out of on that, just in that top line, just isn't where he needed to be. So he's going to go ahead and take the spot. So that's going to put Maxwell now up into the top 10, move Jim Brooks back down to 11th. So take a look here. See, looks like actually that John Mullins Ryan Kelly battle might be starting to heat up here. So yeah, you can see he's just so close, but just not quite where he wants to be at to try to make that little bit of that little charge. Let's see who else we got around here. I think I just saw the 3. He may have just gotten around. Yeah, I think he just got around the 6 of Bud Steele there. So that's going to put Brandon up into the 18th position. Let's see. Oh, I think Bud Steele caught a little bit of the wall on the exit there, unfortunately. So that's going to cost him some momentum. That's going to open the door for Timothy Wright here to try to chase him down a little bit. As I say that, he's going to get the entry into turn 1 here, try to see if he can clear him. Again, Bud, seems like that if you try to run that middle top line, just it does not work. It just really pushes you up really badly, unfortunately. So right now, I say that I'm going to move the 000 to the 19th position, Bud Steele back to 20th. And I think John Mullins and Ryan Kelly may have just swapped positions, and sure enough, they have. So that's going to put Ryan Kelly now up into the 7th position. So that's going to move Ryan Kelly up into 7th there, drop John Mullins back to 8th. And saying right now, looks like Levi Cox is starting to creep in a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit here and there on Larry Yingling. So it's now down to 1.7 seconds. It was a little over 2 seconds earlier, I believe. That last time by, Levi Cox was just under 0.2 of a second quicker, about 1.8 or so tenths over that 67. So he's gonna have to try to hit his marks pretty much just exactly because again we talked about how Larry doesn't really make very many mistakes, but this is gonna hurt right now for Levi Cox. He's not gonna have the turn he wanted. You can see he got a little bit too deep in there, trying to get around the 39 car, and so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see this. Yeah, as they get through the timing and scoring, you're gonna see he lost a lot of ground there just trying to make that pass. Unfortunately, that may have been where he gained some of that time was the 67 trying to get around the 80, and then the what was the other card? Where'd he go there? The 39. That may have cost him a little bit of time as well. Unfortunately, it looks like Ken Worley has retired, so maybe that pit strategy isn't what I thought it was. So as I say, as they come through here, we'll take a look at the speeds at the line. And yeah, sure enough, that time by Larry was about 2/10 quicker than Levi Cox. I'm thinking just kind of who catches traffic when and how bad they catch them, just how it affects their race there. So taking a look here, it looks like the 007 of David Adamson, he's now working his way onto the 76 of Jim Brooks here. David started 24th and is up to 12th, trying to see if he can get that 11th spot. He actually pitted 5 laps later than Jim Brooks. So, I mean, this also shows you that just the tire wear. Because actually, as I said, that caution is out. That's going to change everything here. Trying to see where it may have involved. Unfortunately, I think it may have involved Charles Johnson. So he's kind of running off the pace here. Let's go take a look. Not sure where the incident was here. Nope, nothing there. Let's jump over to 28 here. Let's see if we can see if anything happened to him. He's right there with the 68. This might be where something happened here. Oh, I think it was more than turn 1. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is possibly where something. So coming through 4. Well, I'm not sure where the incident was. Oh, no, it's just a little bit of wall contact there. It's not enough to bring out a caution. Well, whatever the yellow was, I am not sure what it was, folks, unfortunately, so apologize for that. However, pit stops are going to be busy here as they come through turn 4. So you're going to see all the leaders jumping here. I believe the Lucky Dog's going to go to that 66 of Mike Morris, and that's going to put him back on the lead lap here. As I said, as you can see right there, the 67 had a pretty good lead there on entry, so as long as he doesn't hit his marks here, he's going to be able to probably come back out with the lead. So we'll let these guys make their stops here. We'll kind of keep an eye and see where everybody comes out. Saying this is gonna. So right now we're pitting on lap 47 of 75. We got 29 to go. Probably restart with around 26 or so to go here, which could be right at the very edge of their fuel window. So that's gonna be something to keep an eye on as well here. So you see right here, you got the 14, the 67. So should probably see the 67 jump out right. Yep, there he goes. 14, actually a really good stop by the 14. It's really close between the two of them. I think Larry's gonna get it there. As you notice in iRacing, you can pretty much drive through each other if you're in the pit stalls. It's something you have to be careful about, however. But yeah, so it looks like Larry's going to hang on to the lead here on the exit. It's going to put the 14 of Levi Cox back to second. And you got the 85 of Brandon Clark in third. 17 of Chad Wilkes in seventh. And then, in fourth. And then in fifth, I believe might be the 13. Yeah, looks like it might be the 13 of Ryan Kelly. So that was a really good pit stop for him. That's going to jump him some spots. So while this all cycles through, I'm going to step away for a little bit, get some water. So I'll stay on camera here so you guys can kind of keep an eye on those around. And then we'll be back with you here shortly. are on the one to go, and as you saw there, some strategy is afoot. So, say you saw the 14 of Levi Cox, he went ahead and stayed out. However, you saw the 67 Larry Yingling, he went ahead and popped off there on that one to go. I was thinking that this might be right on the edge of that fuel window, and so he decided to give it a shot here. So now he's going to have to see if he can make his way back through the field. And of course, this is all depending on no cautions to go to the rest of the way, of course, things of that nature. So still a lot that can happen here. So say up front, though, now it's going to be the 14 Levi Cox, 85 of Brendan Clark, Chad Wilkes in third, Ryan Kelly in fourth, and Jack Walls rounds out the top five. As I say that, say they're coming, there goes the pace car entering the pits. Let's say it's going to put it into the hands of that 14 and the 85. So you can see all those guys that topped off are having to restart single file here as the green flag is out. Say 17 is giving the right on the bumper of the 14, 13's all over the back of the 85 as well. So these guys are having a pretty good restart here. Now it's just about trying to get through the gears here, hit your marks, and try. Oh, as I say, that little bit of a bobble there by the 14, able to collect and right in front of the 85, unfortunately. Oh, 1785 really close off of two touch doors a little bit down the backstretch here. Say right now the 85's got the momentum, has the draft, just don't know if it's going to be enough to clear the 70. It is. Okay, so I was going to put the 85 now up into second and the 17 to third, and Ryan Kelly in the 13 will be in the fourth position. So now the next car we have to keep an eye on is going to be that 67 of Larry Yingling. We'll see what he's able to do with that slightly fuller tank of fuel, I guess you could say. Say we're coming across the line here with lap 51 of 75, so we have 25 to go here as they cross the line. So it looks like Charles Johnson may have yet. Looks like the 28 has hit the pits here. I'm not sure, maybe he had to serve a penalty, unfortunately, or not. So that's not going to help his cause here. But again, still a fair ways to go. I mean, 25 laps at Indy is a ton. Oh, as I see one pulling off there. Oh, he's in the grass. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like someone had to take an invasive exit there. I'm trying to catch what the car number was. I think it may have been a yeah, it was 003 of Aaron Davidson. Something must have happened there. Maybe he had to jump out abruptly. Hope everything's okay with him. Looks like he has retired. So up front, though, say he's still got the 14 and the 85 up front here. Say right behind them is still the 17, 13, and 83 rounding out the top five. Trying to take a look, and one driver that's made a pretty good charge here through all this has been the that 64 of John Mullins, and you've also got the 68 of Mark Brown and the 3 of Brendan Thomas. These three are now running 7th, 8th, and 9th, so it's a good run for these guys. To say they've been kind of slowly but surely making a little bit of a charge here. And saying you got the 76 of Jim Brooks rounds out the top 10 as things run at the moment. Yeah, I think something must have happened as well to Charles Johnson. He's still sitting in the pits. Say also the 9 of Cody Cox is in the pits as well. So say I'm not sure what happened to those guys, unfortunately. But say right now up front, they just got a little bit. They're just all kind of single file here for about the top 8 or so. As I said, caution is out. Looks like unfortunately it may have been the 12, judging by from what I'm seeing here on track. Oh, as I say, he's back around on the front stretch here. Damage doesn't look too terrible, surprisingly. I say it's pretty possible. Not. Oh, yeah, they don't want to do that. Let's go back and see what happened to Robert here. So I'm pretty much have to guess. Yeah, they must have had a little bit of help, because you don't. Let's see. That thing was all over the place as we're watching through the. I wonder if his wheel had something happen to him. So I guess we'll take a look here. Let's run it at full speed and see what we can see. Loose off. Oh, and it just kind of catches the wall. Oh, just nowhere to go for that one car. Say 71 catches the wall, trying to avoid him as well. Yeah, that was a weird situation there for that 12 of Robert Richards. So they did a good job there that before trying to spin it back around, wait for everybody to come by, and then loop it back around here. But yeah, that was a weird one, almost like a had that first initial incident, and then kind of turned into a tank slapper from there. However, let's say the plot's going to thicken a little bit here on the pit strategy as well. So we mentioned Larry Yingling went ahead and topped off. He's still showing in the 12th position. Um, and then those, of course, around him who have not pitted are showing right now first through 10th. It looks like Bud Steele pitted one lap before. So Larry pitted, I think, on the one to go, whereas Bud pitted on the two to go. So we'll have to see if any strategy comes from this now. If anybody's going to maybe try to take, maybe let's say, like depending where I was on track, this might be a good option here for like a two tires and fuel. And actually, the other thing I did not mention, this was a huge break for Les Levy in the 62, Mitchell Wilkes in the 39, the 48 of James Ledford. They all actually took the wave around there, banking on a quick yellow to try to get themselves back on the lead lap. And it worked out for them perfectly. I'll say they're going to now cycle back on the lead lap here, I believe. You just have to wait and see who gets the lucky dog. Unfortunately, I don't think the 071 will, because he had that little bit of a contact with the wall trying to avoid the incident there. And sometimes iRacing doesn't allow for that, unfortunately. Um, and it looks like the 76 of Jim Brooks is going to be the one leading the charge for the pit stops here. So we'll kind of see if there's some strategy here for two tires or four. Like I said, if it's a tight setup, personally, I'm taking two tires, fill up with fuel, and then go after it because those two tires might free it up a little bit. But so far, it looks like everybody's going for. So I see the 67 Larry Yingling is in. He's taking four as well. Actually, no, I think that may have been two. I didn't get a good look at that one, unfortunately. Oh, I think that was four, though. Actually, let's look at his pit stop time. Yep, that was four tires. Looks like the 00 though of Timothy Wright. It looks like he took two tires. That's kind of the way I would have gone on that one, to be honest with you all. I think the two tires would have helped loosen the car up a little bit. It was a short enough run, and maybe it would help loosen it up just that a little bit as well. Lucky Dog looks like actually went to the 45 of Paul Patterson. So yeah, unfortunately Eric Laurie kind of got burned on that one just because of getting into the wall trying to avoid the wreck there. So we're gonna have definitely a mixed bag of strategies here. It's gonna be now the top 9 that did not pit, and then from 10th on back are the first ones that made pit stops. And I believe it's gonna be Bud Steele that's gonna lead those of that made the pit stops here. So wait for everything to cycle through all the way, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm seeing. So that'll be pretty interesting to see with the fresher tires in. Of course, with the more fuel, say of course here at Area 51 Racing League, they do have up to 3 green-white checkered finishes. So say should it come to that, fuel will definitely play a role in there. But so yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But say right now we are crossing line. We're going to have 19 to go as they cross the line here. So back up front to the 14 car. Actually, I think we're at 20 to go. My apologies. And it looks like we'll restart with probably about 18 to go or so. Say we're not on the one to go yet. So again, I'll step away for just a little bit while everything cycles through here, and then we'll definitely catch you back on the backstretch on the one to go. right, we're on the Wendigo. We're on the backstretch. So again, as I mentioned, right now we got the top 9 stayed out, and the first one that went ahead and came in for tires and fuel was Bud Steele in the 67, and then in the 6, and the 67 Larry Yingling. Timothy Wright in the 00 took 2 tires and fuel. I'm curious to see how he does. That was kind of where I was leaning toward. That's the kind of the approach I would have taken if I was in that same position, but. Let's see how the 2 versus 4 go, because usually 2 tires will help loosen things up. Just obviously a little bit, possibly less wear on the lefts, of course. And so we'll have to wait and see, though. However, say they're coming around turn 4. Say you see the pace car duck in here in just a moment. There it goes. So we're going to put it back into the hands of the 14 Levi Cox, 85 of Brandon Clark. And we'll see what kind of push the 17 and the 13 are able to give to those front 2. So you see them wiggle a little bit. That means they are on it. Saying right now it looks like 14's got the slight advantage, but again we have to be real careful here. They say it's not, they don't quite have the full grip that they might need right off the bat there, so they just have to be a little. Oh, as I say that, 67 gets a little bit of a nudge there, sends him around. So I don't know if it's gonna be enough to bring up the yellows. It looks like he spun to the inside. It's really unfortunate for Larry there. He had the strategy he was going with, didn't obviously work, unfortunately there. Little bit of nose damage. However, at this point now, Larry's goal is just going to be to stay in the lead lap here, hope probably for a yellow, and then kind of see if he's able to regroup here on this one. So he's going to kind of be off on his own here. So we'll keep an eye, see if anything happens for him. But right now, we'll go back up front. And so sure enough, as they 14's actually able to sneak it out a little bit, and after I was cycled, while I was looking at that, Ryan Kelly had a really good restart there. He's going to go from, I think it was 3rd to 2nd here. And actually, I must have missed a lot here because I am not seeing one of those ones who was up in the front there earlier on. As I say, I see Jack Walls has moved up. Who are we missing from that lead group here? I'm going through my order there to see. So it was the 13, the 17, the 14. Oh, the 85 of Brandon Clark. That's who I'm missing. Let's take a look. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at all that right side damage there. Yeah, he got some heavy contact, unfortunately. Let's go back and take a look to see. Let's go back one more. See where this happened. I'm going to say it was probably early on. Jump back to the lead afterwards here. So that's where the 67, that's where my focus went. Oh, right there. The 1785 just got a little bit of contact, and that pushed the 85 into the wall. And you can see just how much momentum he lost from that, and that's what pushed him all the way back there. So that's really unfortunate there for Brandon Clark. Just bad luck. As I see, he's in the pits now. I'm going to get that repaired possibly. So move back up front here though. So he's still got the 14 leading the way. Looks like the 17 of Chad Wilkes was able to jump around the 13 of Ryan Kelly. You can see right now they're starting to really start dicing it up here. Right behind him, you've got the 83 of Jack Walls trying to hang on. Let's say who else is in there? It's the 74, the 64. And I think that was the 68 as well. So they're all right there, all fighting for position. So right now it's going to put Chad Wilkes now 2nd. Ryan Kelly 3rd, Jack Wall still in 4th, John Moles now up to 5th, Mike Io Jr. in 6th. But right now you've got about the top 8 or so are all within about 2 seconds of the lead, and then from there is a bit of a gap to the 6 of Bud Steele. So this is kind of right now where the dicing is with these guys. But say right now up front though, I think Levi Cox is still doing all right. I say they're about to come up on. Who's that? That's actually the 85 Brandon Clark. He just got that faster pair of tires. So it's like he should have some pretty good pace with those brand new tires. So I think he should be able to kind of sneak away here a little bit, or at least hang on to this lead lap though. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that as well. And actually, I'm looking at that 14 car, trying to see if I can get a better look at it. But I'm pretty sure I saw a little bit of a right front wrinkle on it. Or you know what? That just might be an eagle that's throwing me off. As I say, that caution is out. Trying to see where it is. That was a huge break for Brendan Clark and also for Larry Yingling. That's going to keep both those guys on the lead lap here. Haven't seen where the incident was. Let's go back and take a look. May have been the 3 and the Let's take a look here. 3 and 68. Oh, there it is. The 3 and 68 get together. 68. Oh my goodness. Oh, we'll have to watch that again on the 68's view there. That was an amazing save. That thing was sliding the whole way through here. So just one of those things, they're kind of going for the same real estate there. So you see the 3 gets a little loose on entry actually there, catches the grass, and that's just going to wash him right up into the 68. Just nothing he did wrong there for Mark Brown, just unfortunate. But you can see right here though, keeps it in the gas, keeps the wheel to the left here as it comes through. I don't even think he touched the wall as well. That was maybe skimmed it just a little bit. What a save by Mark Brown. So able to hang on to it. So he throws the yellow out as well, so that'll get him back, kind of keep him back on the lead lap as well. Really, really outstanding driving by that 68 car there. Um, and then so yeah, and like I said, that's gonna put the 67, the 85 back in contention here. And then now it's been the fight for the lucky dog. I'm not sure if it's going to be the 9 of Cody Cox, 071 of Eric Laurie, or the 80 of Diego Vazquez. I'll have to see which one of those 3 drivers gets the free pass here. Say back up front though. Say right now we're on lap 63 of 75, so we're going to restart with probably just around 10 to go. Fuel's probably looking a little better there. Larry's probably kicking himself for his pit strategy there, topping off. So we'll see right now. Looks like we'll see if there's any fakes being thrown here as they come to the pits. Right now it looks like the 14 is going to stay out. He's thinking, nope, he's staying out, or he's staying in the pits there. However, I say it looks like the first gambler is going to be the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. He's went ahead and he stayed out here. It looks like no, 9's actually still on the lead lap, or sorry, 9's the lap down. He'll probably get the wave around here. So trying to see if anybody else. It looks like Mitchell Wilkes in the 39 is also staying out. And if I'm Brandon Clark in the 85, I'm staying out as well. And he did. So that's a really good strategy for him as well. He's only got about 5 laps on his tires there, so got that fast repair taken care of. So he's going to restart third now after being around 25th or so. So that caution and staying on the lead lap was the best thing that could have happened to him. The 9 of Cody Cox is the free pass car, so he's going to come back around. He'll be the first car, or he'll be the last car on the lead lap in the 26th position. And then right now, unfortunately, the 2 that are still a lap down are the 071 of Eric Laurie and the 80 of Diego Vazquez. And it looks like Charles Johnson is 2 down as they run. But yeah, like I said, so we got 12 to go right now. So we'll restart within the 10 to go, I believe. But yeah, well, let's see how the strategy works. Let's say Maxwell's gonna be. I feel like the front 2, the 94 and the 39 are definitely gonna have their work cut out for them. They've got 10 laps on their tires compared to those that just pitted, and then Brandon Clark only has 5 laps on his tires. So we'll see what happens there. And then the other course is gonna be just pit strategy as well. I'm waiting to see let everything cycle through. It looks like a few drivers. Like Brandon Thomas looks like he took 2 tires. They're in the 3, so he's going to start 4th with those 2 tires. And then trying to see. Oh no, that's right. Larry was in the back because of the incident. So yeah, so this is going to be interesting. So you got some no tires, or older no tires, slightly newer no tires, 2 tires, and then 4 tires. So going to be quite the mixed bag here on this restart here. But so got a few new faces up front. Say Maxwell Caldwell. I don't think he's really shown us everything he's got. So we'll have to see how he's able to manage the tires and everything here. So I believe we're not on the one to go yet. Wait for him. Yeah. So not yet. So I'm gonna step away for a moment here, and then I'll jump back on the one to go. Alright, so we're on the 1 to go. On the backstretch here, going to restart with 9 to go. It looks like the 39 of Mitchell Wilkes had second thoughts after all about deciding to stay out. However, I think he's going to possibly be forced to serve a penalty here just because of the fact that if you don't pit the first or second time by, if you're the leader, they don't let you pit on the 1 to go without serving because it's just something in iRacing the way it works there. So he's going to have to be careful about that. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see here what happens here as we're going through turn 3. So up front's going to be the 94 on 10 lap, well 12 lap old tires now, the 85 on 7 lap old tires, and then the 3 on 2 tires, and then the 14 Levi Cox on 4 tires. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out. And it's gonna be, I say it's gonna be an exciting one. I say, looking forward to see what these guys can do. So say as they're coming through now, say coming up to the start finish line, say they're gonna start grabbing gears once the green flag flies, and say it's gonna get a little bit dicier here. Everybody's gonna be that little bit more aggressive. But right now Maxwell gets a good start there. Might be able to clear the 85 entering turn 1. Oh, right now we gotta be careful there. The 14 looking like you want to try to go 3 wide. Doesn't do it. Luckily, it's thought better of it there, but he's definitely gonna try to take advantage of these 4 tires as fast as he can. So he's able to get around the 3, Brandon Thomas. You can see right now, 85 gets a big run there off of 2. 94 Maxwell Caldwell tried to throw a block, couldn't do it. 85 is able to get there too quick. So that's gonna put him in the preferred line here, entering turn 3. And he's going to take the lead here, and then you see the 14 Levi Cox. He's going to try to see if he can follow through. He's able to get there. He's now in the second position. Again, slightly fresher tires as well. Oh, little wiggle there from the 94. But yeah, these guys are going after it right now. So Brandon Clark, though, gets a really good exit there off of turn 4 here. Got about a car length over the 14 of Levi Cox. Maxwell Caldwell in 3rd right now, and then you've got Chad Wilkes in 4th. John Mullins in 5th, Brandon Thomas in 6th. So yeah, we're just going to see what these guys are able to do. You can see right now the 17's all over the back right now of that 94 cars, and see if maybe he can get to the inside. Oh, you can see right there they're starting to block already. That's where you have to be careful, because I say now it's going to give the 94 a really bad entry here into turn 3. So if the 17's able to get the arc right, he might be able to duck back under him. Can't quite do it here, so he's going to have to regroup. You see right there, he takes the wide entry and then he cuts it down and see if he can get that big exit off of 4. But however, the 94 hits his marks really well. He's going to hang on to that spot as they go. So up front, you see Levi Cox dropping all the way to the bottom. I think just trying to make the 85 look in his mirrors here. We're on 7 to go. You see, right there, really good 1 and 2 there. Oh, I think I saw right there. I think it was John Mullins may have caught the wall on exit there of 2 or of 1. But yeah, these guys are mixing it up right now, so we'll jump out a little bit. Again, you can see them drop to the bottom here. Right now, they're pretty single file. You see a couple double file right around Bud Steele. Looks like in the 12th, 13th position there. As I say that, Levi's trying to make it happen here. So he had a good run there, just couldn't quite get it through. But right now, though, the 85 is just really doing a good job hitting that exits that he needs to do. That's going to be the critical thing for the 85 cars, to try to hit that exit. To minimize anything that the 14 is able to do. But as I say that, here he comes. He's got the run. That's going to be the 14 sneaking on through there. He's going to see if he can cross him over here. Say back off a little early, jump to the bottom. Really good job there. Say as they go through turns 2, 85 is going to try to see if he can make the crossover happen. He's going to need to get a good exit here, because the 14 is going to have a little bit of momentum on the top side. But right now they're door to door. And say they're not giving each other an inch right now. As they're coming through here, about to enter turn 3. So I think you're going to see if the 14 is going to try to repay the favor there, try to cross him over back, but looks like the 85 able to hold on to it. So that's Brandon Clark takes the lead back there. Really good crossover move there. Saying that's going to, he gets a good exit here off of turns 4. So he's going to hang on to the lead again as they go. So we'll jump back and take a look on the wrong car there. We have 5 to go here, Indianapolis. Say we'll keep an eye from the back, see what kind of see what you're seeing right here with Levi Cox. Oh, he gets a little bit wide there, able to keep the momentum down. So he's going to try to need to hit his marks here on exit. And you can see right there it's pretty even. But you can see here comes that draft. You can see that 14 creeping and just ever closer. And that's where he's going to have to start thinking about it. He's going to have to protect or not, because I think if not, the 14 is going to try to make a dive and just couldn't quite get there right at his bumper, though. Right at his bumper. So you can't get any closer. Gets the run entering turn 4. Now it's going to be the exit again. Who's able to get the better exit, get that momentum off of there. And right now, it's pretty much nose to tail with these two. So they come through the line. 85 just has it at the line. 4 to go. So they're going to run each other really tight here. So you can see right again, 14's just not quite able to clear him entering turn or exiting turn 1. See if he's able to get a good turn 2 here. And this time he hits it exactly what he needs to. But now, this is where the draft again is going to come into play here. Now you got the 14 is going to have to play defense against the 85. You can see right there, he's going to go all the way to the bottom, protect that bottom side, and he's going to try to make the 85 go the long way here. But it's all about going to be just hitting your marks and not overdriving it. And you can even see right now that 14 is protecting the bottom. And while they're fighting like this has brought John Mullins and that 64 right up into this battle here, as well as the 13 of Ryan Kelly. So it's definitely going to start getting a little busier. You see again, 14 Levi Cox going to protect the bottom. He's going to move Brandon Clark to the top side, see if he can make something happen again. His goal is going to try to make the 14 overdrive the turn. Looked like he almost got into the back bumper there. But now you've got 4 cars all within half a second of the lead here. So right now, Levi Cox is going to be rooting for these guys to start fighting each other instead of him. But right now, so you say you've got 4 cars all with a good chance of having a shot at this win here as they come through turn 3. I say able to get a little bit of a gap now. Say Levi's starting to stretch it out again. So got just enough of a distance, I think, that he was able to make. Now he's just able to hit his marks and try to put these laps down. But he's done a really good job. That was a really good fight between him and Brandon Clark there. And it looks like now that they've settled out here, you can see the 64 of John Mullins, Ryan Kelly are able to kind of, they haven't been able to close up as well anymore. And you can see now that last time by, actually, Levi Cox was 0.3 of a second faster than Brandon Clark. So he's really starting to put the hammer down and hit his marks and just get good exits off these turns and really stretch it out. And again, that's what he was looking for right there. You saw the battle right there with the 85. The 64s are going 3 wide for the second position. Here's 64, 13, 85. Someone's going to have to blink or not. And if nobody blinks, that's what happens. You see the 85 gets a little bit of a shot there. Able to keep it off the wall. But that's going to now jump Ryan Kelly into the second position. John Mullins will be in third. Oh, it's a little bit loose off of turn 4. Able to keep it straight, though. But up front, though, Levi Cox is waiting for this white flag. This is exactly what he wants to see. He wants to get that white flag, not worry about another restart. And he's able to get there. So right now we have 1 to go here. He's got a really nice gap right now over that 13 of Ryan Kelly. And then behind Ryan Kelly, you've got the 64 of John Mullins. And so, yeah, so they're starting to stretch it out here. So you got the 85. He's got his hands full now with the 83 of Jack Walls. So say, oh, you see he's throwing a big block. He's got to be careful there. So he doesn't want to get caught in the quarter panel there to end this race. He's going to fight for all he can. But back up front, say we got to jump back to the lead here. So you got Levi Cox coming off of turn 4, started on the pole. You can see he's celebrating already. He's shaking that car around. So you're going to have the winner here, the 14. Levi Cox wins from the pole. Second place is going to be Ryan Kelly. In third is John Mullins in the 64. Looks like Brandon Clark was able to hold on for that 4th position there. Jack Walls in 5th in the 83. Really good job of save by all these guys. Let's say that was a really good battle though between Brandon Clark and Levi Cox. That was extremely exciting. So I definitely enjoyed watching those them go after it there. So we'll see if we can here. See who we can catch up with for some interviews. So obviously we'll make sure we try to catch the burnout as well of Levi Cox here during his interview. So let me jump over to our Discord channel. Let's see if we can grab some of these drivers here. See if there's a John Mullins yet. Don't see him yet. However, oh, there he is. There's John Mullins. Say I'm gonna pull up John Mullins here in that 64 car. I guess you're just hoping for maybe a little bit more contact between that 14 and the 85 to open the door. Say, but those two going 2 by 2 there at the end. Say you guys were closing the gap there, and then of course going 3 wide there, entering turn 3. Nobody wanting to give an inch there. Just take us through those last laps. What your mindset was going into those final laps.
Well, I seen the 94. He was racing someone pretty hard. They got together. So it opened the door to get up on 1 and 2. They got to racing pretty heavy too. I thought, wow, I don't know. I got a chance. But then, yeah, the 3 wide situation came up. And, yeah, we're not lifting. I wasn't lifting. So we all sailed in there and slowed me down a little bit, obviously. But I'll take a top 3 and had a pretty good run tonight.
Yeah, you guys are putting on a show. There was a lot of fun watching you guys. Did you have any kind of strategy going into this one, like for pit strategies, anything like that, or was it just kind of just play things as they came to you?
No, actually, I wanted to stretch every tank all the way dry. That was my strategy, do a little fuel thing. I knew I'd give up a little time when they short pitted on me for tires, but yeah, I was hoping to go green. But we got a little run of cautions there, so we threw that out the window and just had to get up on the wheel and start racing.
And that you did a really good job of it. So I want to give you an opportunity here for any thanks and shouts that you like to give for your third place finish tonight.
Yeah, my sponsors, Canterbury DNA Enterprises, man. Appreciate you boys coming on board with me. And you guys up there in the booth, you do a good job, and appreciate that as well.
All right, third place finisher John Mullins. So I'm gonna try to see if we can get a little bit more next week. Let's say we'll grab the second place finisher here of Ryan Kelly. Say Ryan pulled up Ryan Kelly here in the 13 car. So they did what you could there. I say they got dicey there and watching you go for that 3 wide battle there at the end, but say any just was just a little bit less track position than you needed at the very end, or what did you need to try to make it happen there?
Yeah, I wrecked myself off the first turn, so from the start I was just trying to get back to the front and one spot short.
Yeah, it's a good recovery, like you said. I was saying that turn one lap one incident, say a handful of cars involved there, but again, I mean to be able to come back from, I think you were in the 30s, I want to say at one point to grab it all the way back up to second. So was there anything that stood out for you for the race tonight, or was it just at that point just kind of changed everything up the way for what you would normally do?
Yeah, it kind of changed everything up. I mean, I was just trying to save tires as always and make it to the end without being wrecked.
Well, say you're able to hang on there, get that third place finish, or sorry, second place finish. Say, and then what about that towards the end there, that 3 wide battle you had for the second spot there with John Mullins and Brandon Clark? Say, was it pretty much just like I'm going in no matter what, I'll see what happens. Who comes out the other end?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just sent it in, had a run, see what happened.
No, it's a really good recovery. Want to give you any chance for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give though for your second place finish tonight?
Shout out Roy Wheeler for helping me with the Ciroc paint scheme. He was the one who painted that for me. It looks real good.
Yeah, say Roy does some really good work. I've seen some of the stuff he's done. So, again, congrats on your second place finish, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, thanks, guy.
I dragged myself in the wrong channel. Apologies for that. So we're going to grab our race winner here in the 14 of Levi Cox. So I grab him down here. So I got the race winner here. Say, well, you got the pole, you got the win. And say, I think you kept the car clean all night. Say, definitely had to work for it there at the end. I'll say, take us through your race. That was an exciting one.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We got a green flag pit stop. That was nice to have back in this league. It's been a while since we had to do that. Larry kind of checked out. I was a little wuss getting into my box there, and he checked out about a second, and then just kind of grew it over that long green flag run. I think he's up to about 2 seconds. So whenever that other caution came out, bunched us all back up. That was good for me at the time. And then from there, it was just battling it out. Had to save a little bit of fuel. wasn't sure I could make it, and then those cautions started falling, and then it was deciding whether or not to pit. So luckily, everybody followed me down. Got to restart fourth. That wasn't too terrible, and then racing with my teammate Brandon there at the end for the win. So and it was a good race, fun race.
Yeah, you and Brendan put on a show there. That was extremely exciting to watch there. I'll say, it looked like you had him, then he was able to get the crossover on you, and then you guys are just door to door for it seemed like half a lap at least here at Indy, which is not an easy feat to do. So yeah, you guys put on a really good show there on that one. So yeah, so you want to give you opportunity here for thanks and chats you'd like to give for your win tonight.
Thank you for putting on the broadcast. I want to thank all my teammates, Brandon Clark, my brother Cody, Larry, Maxwell, and Ryan, and that's about it. Just good race.
All right, well, congrats again on your finish here on the win at Indianapolis, and say look forward to catching you again soon. But yeah, so say get the win, get the pole. Say that's the way you want to make the race happen.
Yeah, max points, as they say. So no incidents. $10 richer. I'll take it. It was a good night.
That's
Can't
the way you
complain.
do it. Congrats again, Levi. So we'll go through the rundown here as we watch your burnouts on this one. So we'll go through the results here again. Your race winner. So I'm going to cover the unfortunately there. We got the 14 Levi Cox, Ryan Kelly in second, John Mullins in third. In fourth was Brendan Clark, Jack Walls in fifth, David Adamson in sixth position, Jim Brooks in seventh, Mike Iao Jr. in eighth, Larry Yingling in ninth, and Brandon Thomas rounds out your top 10. So we'll show here now, we'll show the 11th through 20th position. So some of those drivers, unfortunately, some strategies. Some just didn't have the nights they were hoping to have probably tonight. And then, of course, earlier with the recovery for some of those as well. So there's 21st through 30th. And here's the last remaining ones from 31st through 35th. So we'll switch back over and say continue the, as you can see, the burnout. Levi Cox doing the burnout all the way down the front stretch there. Again, congrats to him. I'll say really good run. Wins from the pole. Like I said, max points, no incidents. That's the way you want to do it here. So for myself, Kyle Brooks, with the Green White Checkered TV, want to thank you all for joining us here at the Area 51 Racing League at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in their Cup Series. Look forward to catching you again on Tuesday for the Indy Series, and then of course again next week as well with the Cup Series again. So for myself, with Green White Checkered TV, thank you for joining me tonight. Remember, stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and hope you all have a wonderful evening and take care. All right, good night.